enjoyed your night? Yay! Fantastic, fantastic. Right, stuff. Joseph Fritzl was sentenced for life imprisonment last week. He had enslaved his daughter for 24 years, made her father 7 of his children, and in that time he was supposed to have raped her 3,000 times. Who was counting? I mean, every time he went back upstairs, was she going, oh, that's another notch on the bedpost? Where have they got that figure from? They've made that up. But it was quite an odd little trial. I mean, in the first 2 days, he was covering his face with a blue ring binder. I can't think of a more pointless exercise. You imagine going, all right, Joe, we're about to go into court now. And he goes, whoa, hang on a second. Let me just grab this. Why are you covering your face? I don't want anyone to know what I look like. I'll never live this down. Waste of time. But and also at the start of the trial, he pleaded guilty to incest, but only partially guilty to rape. I don't understand that. Partially guilty? It's like, did you rape your daughter? Sort of. Are you guilty of incest? Well, yeah, definitely. That's 7 kids. So rape then? Depends on the context. Ridiculous. But what do you do with someone like Joseph Fritzl? I mean, some people say that life in prison isn't enough for him. You know, some people say he's inhuman. He deserves to die. And those thoughts were recently echoed by Katie Price, better known as Jordan, when she was recently quoted as saying that the death penalty was great and that rapists should be raped. Nice. But, I mean, I'm opposed to the death penalty, but even if you're for it, I mean, to describe it as great is a little bit odd. I mean, I really like football. I love going to games. I love watching the goals. It's great. That is an event. The death penalty is like going, oh, I love it when they put the hood over their head and that bit with their neck breaks and they actually die. It's just so great to watch. But also, if rapists need to be raped, if you're raping a rapist, then you yourself have become a rapist. So then you need to be raped, and then that person would need to be raped, and then that... It creates more problems than it actually solves. But the only way to get around it is if you had someone who was sort of state appointed to do it. But, like, if that's your job, imagine the burden you'd have day to day. You wouldn't be able to live a normal life. I mean, girls, picture the scene. You're in a club, chatting to some guy, good looking, funny, handsome, getting on brilliantly. So what do you do for a living? Or me? I'm a justice rapist. What do you even say in the interview? I'm not great at interviews myself. Not that I get nervous, I just come across like I don't care, which isn't great. But I've got this friend who works in recruitment, and he once sent this guy to this job interview, and he was dead certain he was going to get it. He was so qualified for it, there's no way he couldn't. Company's got back to our mate and said, look, we're not going to go with your guy. He's like, what? So he's immediately called his client up, and he goes, look, mate, they're not, you haven't got the job, I don't understand it. How did the interview go? He goes, well, the interview was going all right, I answered their questions clearly and concisely. They seemed happy with my answers, and then that never-thought question came up, what is your worst point about you? He goes, and I never know what to say there, so I sort of had a joke answer. He goes, well, why? What did you say? He goes, I said to them, well, I'm a terrible racist. I can imagine saying that in a job interview! I mean, you might as well just turn around and go, yeah, I think women are inferior to men, everybody's not a Christian, and I want to kill the cat by putting it in a microwave. They're probably my worst points. But racists, they're an annoying bunch of people, aren't they? I mean, one of the things I can't stand about racists, I mean, aside from their racial hatred, obviously, is that whenever you're in the company of one, not only will you definitely get onto the subject of race, but they'll also try to convince you that everybody's a racist. I mean, I used to work in a pub, right, and some of the stuff I used to hear in there at times was a nightmare. We had this one guy sitting in the bar, just being really loud and obnoxious, just going, yeah, England for the English and all this, and I was like, alright mate, enough out of you. Because what's your problem? I'm only saying what everybody's thinking, because deep down everybody's a racist. So everybody's racist, are they? I mean, yeah, including you. I'm pretty sure I'm not a racist. And he goes, alright then mate, if you're not a racist, answer me this question. This always trips everybody up. If you're not a racist, why aren't you living in Birmingham? What? Let's just answer the question. God, why Birmingham? Just can't answer it, can you? I don't want to live in Birmingham. Yeah, why is that? That's because you're a racist. That's got nothing to do with it. If I move to Birmingham, I've got to get get another job, I've got to find a flat, I've got to make new friends. I'm 25 years old now, I've only ever made 6 friends. And that's not to say that I've got 6 friends now. Like, I'm never going to make any more in Birmingham. And he was like, yeah, all right, mate. Really dismissive of what I had to say, unbelievable. But the more drunk he's got, the worse he's got. And he's also going, oh mate, it's even worse in this country now, you've got the Poles coming over here taking our jobs. I was like, look mate, Polish people are not coming over here and stealing our jobs. That is a complete misrepresentation in the media. But no, I ain't mate, and I should know I employ enough of them. That's my 5 minutes. Thanks very much guys, you've been fantastic.